Welcome back to another episode of PT Postmortem. I am one of your hosts, Swaggy Dr. Kush. This is my other host, Mr. Doctor.
Hello, I am ill, but we move on, we go forward, we do it. This one's injured in multiple ways. I think his arm's probably got nearly snapped in half. I'm sad it didn't get fully snapped, but that's a different story entirely. The man dies at the wall. But we love you, Swag. We love you.
When you're a talented, aspiring artist like myself, you got to go do other arts, and I've been doing the art of swag jitsu, and I've been getting on board a lot. But I nipped that shit in the bud last night, and I don't think I'll get on board for a long time unless, I like to roll with the blue belts because I bring my esports mentality to it. Iron sharpens iron. It's not sharpening me for sure. It's beating my ass like this.
I thought your esports mentality is just throwing spinning elbow after spinning elbow, and then not learning the grappling game. This seems like the opposite of your esports mentality right now, Swag. And maybe you should incorporate this mentality that you got for jiu-jitsu into your esports mentality, and then maybe you'll get somewhere.
I spin in jiu-jitsu.
Congratulations. Okay, well, on that short introductional tangent, today we have got the Xbox GP, which Swaggy hasn't watched, and I have glanced at. Both of us were.
Why would I watch it when I knew what was gonna happen? Like I don't know the results, but I already know Fad won. Fad won the whole thing, walked through it, and still it's not even questionable.
Okay. So we got the Xbox GP, then we got the PS GP. So firstly, we'll run down the GP. We'll talk about the results of that fight. Neither of us had particularly seen the fights. We'll be blatant with that. We were both busy over the course on Saturday, and then over the week.
We were both getting drunk.
You said it, not me. So we haven't had a chance to look.
Cyrus is gonna fire us.
Yeah, he is gonna seriously fire us. It's ridiculous. But we have got the results, so we're going to have a look over them firstly. So, first and foremost, we had Fad versus Bossman. That fight finished by, if I can read even with glasses, round 3 KO. It was a title fight, of course, because it was 5 rounds, and Fad was the incoming champ. But that made him 13-0 at that point as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Following
undisputed, undefeated.
As of that point, yes. Then you moved on to Playboy Dre versus Kante. Kante got the win there.
Kante, dog. Yep.
I'm kind of shocked by that win.
How?
Purely for the fact of Playboy Dre looked really good in the Hate Stram match.
He does.
He looked really good in that Hate Stram match, and so
he looks good a lot.
But then he just loses.
Yeah. It doesn't translate for some reason.
I did remember
he'll be somebody later on.
Yeah. No, well, another thing to note about that fight though, as I was looking through it, Kante nearly got another doctor stoppage again.
That would have been big.
Kante and doctor stoppages are just ridiculous at this point. Yeah, he's very much a case of very well done there.
Abuse.
Yeah, I think both of those fights, if I'm not mistaken, were McGregor versus Dustin, and so was this next fight of Drew's versus his Zesty Stomps. Drew's getting the win, round 2 KO. From the little bit I saw at the end when I was looking through to get all the results, I think Stomps... It's a big jump up in competition for him, massively so, because he was just on the cusp. He was about rank 20 or so around that period, 20-25. There was a lot of pullouts, so you ended up... So it wasn't just the top 15 in this GP, it was also going down to all the way 25. Intro, I believe, was the low... No, Iron Domingo was the lowest rank, I think about 26. But, Intro was 25. So for Stomps, it's a massive jump up in competition, and sadly, he didn't have the veteranness you see from a lot of other more experienced players, being such a relatively new name and camp as well. And so he got KO'd in round 2.
Yeah, no, that's he's a dog as well though, so I'm not really surprised that he got that win.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And then going into the other side of the bracket, or is that the other?
Yes. Hang on, how many count? 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, we got one more fight before we end up on the other fight. So the last side of that bracket would have been EK Warrior versus KM Caliber. That ended by round 1 KO for Warrior.
Well,
Caliber's really weird.
I figured that would be a war, and I'm surprised that ended in round 1 like that.
I would argue
Caliber's good, dude.
Yeah, I mean Caliber is good, but he's the Dave before Dave.
No, he's not. He's not that bad.
No, he's not that bad in terms of like he will go on 5 and then will go on a +5, but he's like the Dave before Dave became Dave in that turn of events, because Caliber's consistently inconsistent. He will win fights that he shouldn't win and will lose fights that he should win. For example, back in UFC 4, he had a couple wins over Fad through means and otherwise, I'm pretty certain. And so those are impressive wins, but then he would go to lose to really easy people that he just shouldn't be losing to. Like, for example, Pug. One time in a GP, he did a flying knee, got slipped hook, and got KO'd by Pug. That is like the black and white of Caliber. He's either extremely good or extremely bad, and there's no other options.
Okay, R.I.P. Caliber. Doc's just murdering people today. Like,
it's Cal. I've been in the camp with the man. Doc don't give a fuck. It. Like
Doc don't give a fuck. Doc's like, this is the third body he's taking today. Like, it's not me today. It's not me. I'm being a good media analyst. I'm not coming at y'all. I'm just, I'm listening.
From that point onwards, you had mix-ups versus Fran, which do you want to take a guess who won this?
My boy Mixie.
No.
Oh my God, he started the season 0-1. Yeah. Don't even tell me Mix-ups is 0-1 right now. All right, now I'm gonna be the bad media analyst. So this is the fall off right here. This is the start of the fall off. I promise you, we not gonna be talking about Mix-ups in 2 weeks. Mix-ups, prove me wrong. We not gonna be talking about Mix-ups in 2 weeks. He gonna be stuck on the unaired. This the fall off.
This is the fall off, is it? I mean, you have to wait and see. I believe he is fighting this week. I may be wrong. I don't know. I mean, for a lot of the unairs, to get onto aired, you're looking at 0-1, 2-0, 1-0, and then possibly 1-1. It depends how. 1-1's probably around 20 to 25. The 0-1s are probably 15 to the other one, and then the 2-0s will take over the majority of the card. From that point onwards, though, with Fran getting that win, it was definitely an upset, I'll say that much. You had Fonty versus Intro. Both
Fonty won.
Yeah, Fonty won. Which, I mean, given Fonty's propriety over the course of the last season, it's nice seeing him back in that win column because he only just got into the top 25. He had a lot of issues on the unaired, and then finally was starting to make a way at the very end, and so he just got about into it. And it's nice to see him get that first win there. So it's a good way to start it off. But then we go into the second round of 4. This time it was at bantamweight. Yeah, this was at bantamweight. Yes. So, first fight, hang on, I've skipped 2 fights. I'm getting ahead of myself. So you have Tier versus Iron Domingo.
Iron Domingo won that.
No, he didn't. He lost.
My God. Round
3 KO. I mean, I do also have a bone to pick with this dude as well, to be quite frank. So, he's gone 0-5, then on a +5, got into the GP. But during that course, he's also had a couple of unaired fights.
He's had like 10 unaired fights.
Yeah, but in his last 2 unaired fights, he has had to have them both rematched. Because the first time around, it went to 5 rounds, even though he knows it's 3. And the second time around, he picked 5 stars, even though it's 4 stars on unaired. So I feel like the aired card has got a bit into his head, just a bit, and it's confused him. Which is understandable if your entire time has been spent on unaired, and then suddenly you've ended up on live card, and the rules suddenly change. But it is a bit insane that you do it back to back in 2 weeks.
My entire life has been unaired for the most part. Actually, that that gets to me. I'm thinking I'm gonna get suspended on unaired soon, and I don't know why. There's just a black cloud over Swaggy right now. Got booted from STK for losing to Lepo, and I feel Iron Domingo's pain. I feel his pain. And listen, if
Maybe
you
you
say
should team
anything
up as a
about me
camp.
losing to Lepo, me and Iron Domingo
would be interesting. I'll say that much.
No.
Coward.
Well, call you a coward?
Yeah, I did call you a coward.
Fuck you, Lepo. And so moving on, what was the next fight?
Where did Lepo catch that stray out of?
Fuck Lepo.
Okay, fine.
I love Lepo, but he a bitch.
Well, the last fight in the lightweight division was Trixie versus MBK Mazzy. Yeah, so I flicked through a lot of this fight, only because I was curious to see how it went. I've got to admit, every time I flicked to a new part of the fight, they were on the ground.
Who won?
Trixie. I think the way I saw the fight, the way I glanced through it at least, was, and this could be completely wrong, we'll find out. Trixie basically, he basically just like won on the feet and then got annoyingly held down for the rest of the round. And it was just rinse and repeat of that. That's why he was the first one to go to decision. Because Mazzy was surviving, he just wasn't winning. Which is fair enough. It happens. Against someone like Trixie, arguably that's the most you can do. Same with Fad, to be fair. So, speaking of Fad, we move into the next part of the GP. That was Bantamweight, we just discussed. First fight on that was Fadinator versus Kante.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think won?
Easy watch for Fadinator. Round
2, so not as easy as you thought, but definitely getting there. He got 109 points off the win, interestingly. Driz versus Warrior was following that. That was a Driz win by round 3 KO. Fran won. B beat Fonte. That was a round 3 decision. Then we had the Trixie versus Tier rematch. And Trixie won that.
Yes.
By round 2 KO. For this one, looking through it at least, it was a lot of it was more pick based. So you had Driz and Fad using Peter Yan. You had some O'Malley's being used and Sandhagen. Those were the main 3 picks I saw: O'Malley, Sandhagen, and Yan.
Yeah, that makes sense. O'Malley's like a lot of people's main.
O'Malley is McGregor in bantamweight, but McGregor isn't very. I don't think McGregor is as good as he's. This is the worst McGregor to date, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, what has McGregor done?
Yeah, exactly. It's nice to finally have a McGregor that's kind of realistic. But yeah, it also feels a bit weird not to have like an OP McGregor at the same time.
We still have the alter ego McGregor.
Yeah, but that's at bantamweight though, and not bantamweight. Jesus, McGregor bantamweight. Featherweight. But then you've got Tapoyo there who can answer every shot of McGregor because he's got like 97 punch speed and power with fast hands and the other one.
True.
So McGregor's definitely not as dominant as he used to be, I would argue. But yeah, Sandhagen is cracked. I stand by that sentiment. Sandhagen is completely cracked.
Yeah, nice sniper.
Yeah, no, it's weird how cracked he is. And so, from that point, we go into the middleweight division. So that's going to be Driz versus Fad.
And Trixie versus Fran?
Yeah, Trixie versus Fran. They both ended in round 3 KO.
All right, and it ended up being Fadinator versus Trixie in the finals. Like we're not stupid here. We're not writing a book. Like this is just a story that's always told.
No.
Okay, so it was Fadinator Fran in the finals.
That would be interesting to see, but also no.
I'm lost here.
Driz.
The Fatinator was definitely in the fight. What do you mean?
He won.
By what? By what?
Round 3 KO.
Fatinator for making me look stupid. You're scumbucket of the week for making me look stupid.
Jesus, Webb. You just given Fat the scumbucket because he lost against his teammate.
He lost the Driz.
He lost against his teammate.
I don't care. I've watched him wash Driz 1,000 times. What's the difference today?
It was he was Izzy. Driz was Pereira, I'm pretty sure.
Man, we already learned that mistake, Fatinator. You already learned that mistake.
Honestly, I've been using Izzy. I prefer him over Pereira. Pereira just gasses out. It's weird. Pereira's gas tank is awful for some reason.
It is terrible. It is terrible. I agree with that. But man, all right. So Driz went to the finals.
Yeah.
Who won the Fran and Trixie fight?
Trixie.
Oh no. Is that Trixie versus Driz in the finals?
Yeah, Trixie versus Driz in the final. I did catch the end of this. Yeah, I mean, it was back and forth from what I saw. Lots of stuns. But Driz got the win. So Driz...
And new?
Yeah, and new. And new. People were expecting to see Fad versus Trixie in the finals. Trixie made it to the finals, but Fad did not. Sad to see, but hey.
I don't know about. I see. This is just like opening a lot of doors in my mind right now.
Oh no! Let's hear it. Let's hear the conspiracy theories.
One, the best Xbox player in the world didn't compete. Frosty didn't compete.
He declined. He declined.
He did decline. I know he declined, and
I had this conversation with him.
He was busy, and
no,
I'm
wasn't. He literally declined because his reasoning was unless he had Fad in the first round, he just wanted to do unaired and earned his way title shot through that.
All right, he's gonna earn his title shot. Then he'll be back.
It's insane. The man refused.
He'll be back.
No, the man declined because he wouldn't get Fad in the first round. Listen to that insanity.
He knows what he wanted for dinner.
Yeah, I suppose so. But it's some.
He was hungry for some Fatinator. He was hungry for some Fatinator.
Yeah, okay, fine.
And there's no doubt in my mind, Frosty runs through Driz. However, it's all about getting there. The Xbox division's confusing now because you got Driz as a champion, and I like Driz. I'm a Driz fan. However,
you got Driz as the champ. You got Trixie kicking about now, who's back into the full swing, and then you got.
There's better fighters than Driz in this top 5 now. You got Fatinator, you got Trixie, you got Frosty.
Okay,
Frosty will be up there.
Yeah, okay.
I know he's not there now, but he'll be
up there. But Driz just beat Fad.
Listen. Sometimes the day doesn't go as it was planned. All right. Some days, you know, people at the post office, they touch 100 envelopes without getting paper cuts. Some days they're gonna get a paper cut. And this was just one of the days that the mailman got the paper cut. And I truly believe Fad don't lose again. This when Fad does lose, it lights a fire under Fad's ass. Fad don't like to lose. I've never seen anybody else so upset over a video game besides myself. However, out of what
possible analogies to use, you start talking about the mailman.
Was the only one I could think of at this moment in time, and I needed one fast.
I mean, yeah, okay, fair enough. It's not a bad one. It does bring across the point. Again, so, I mean, Xbox now looks like very much more interesting. There's words there. I don't think they're in the right fucking word.
Very interesting. Yes, it's a very interesting. It's tight. It's tight. Like, the top 5 is tight.
The top 3 right now on the rankings are Driz, Trixie, Fad. those are the top three. Then you've got Fran just underneath that. Frosty, as of right now, hasn't competed. Warrior lost very early on. He was very good when he started as well. So I expect as time goes on, this top 15 to really develop and really put on a showcase, because it's just going to get more and more interesting as time goes on.
Yeah. No, for sure. It's going to be a really interesting time watching just everybody like expand and grow in the Xbox division. It's going to be really interesting this season. I'm excited.
No, for sure. Well, awesome. Whilst the Xbox side this week, I get the unaired, PlayStation get the live card. So this is going to be the following for Season 2. Firstly, we're going to have Vuck versus SVG Goated.
Goated's going to get slaughtered. This poor man is literally gonna get what is that? What is that when the priest dips your head in water? What's that? He's gonna get baptized. This man's gonna get baptized. Like, it's going to be
blood, yeah.
Bad.
Bad.
It ain't gonna be good.
Well, I mean, Buck's the current champion, so yeah, that's not a bad take, I would argue. It's a bit mean, but not a bad take. I mean, Goated could definitely come out. He has shown a lot of promise. He's not, although he's part of the SVG camp, he's, as we've stated multiple times, he's not really SVG. He's not really that cheesy.
No. And this might get taken wrong, but he actually has talent, and he showcased it.
There is something talented about only being able to switch kick and flying knee someone, in fairness.
They be making moves that don't even exist, though. Like, if you've ever seen Moroccan Lions fight.
Flying Bice, yeah.
Moroccan Lion, a nutcase, but he's very he has good IQ in the ring, in the cage. He's very smart and he gets his thing done. But no, Vuck's gonna kill him. It doesn't even matter how good he is. Vuck's gonna destroy him, because there's levels to this. Vuck's on a different planet.
Well, from that fight onwards, you have Robin versus Proxer.
That's gonna be all right. Round 2 KO. First round's gonna be very close. Robin's gonna come out in the second round and prove why he's not washed.
Robin's what? What is it you making comments about people being washed?
The last month, people have been, no, I don't think Robin's washed. I think Robin's that guy. Robin's been busy beating the shit out of people IRL. All right? Which I now understand. That's just not easy. My arm hurts right now.
Fair enough.
However,
I should say this. I am now making notes about who you're saying winning, so we can just work out how this entire GP is going to go.
Nah, Robin's not washed. Robin is still, in my mind, Robin's still a top 5 competitor. He's just hasn't had the time to get there.
110% become champion.
He's just been busy kicking people.
I think he stands a good chance of beating Vanio and Vuck. I'm pretty sure he has got wins over Vuck.
No, 100%. That's what I'm saying. He could win this whole thing. He's just been busy kicking people's legs IRL. Yeah. Which I would love to take a leg kick from Samurai Robin, actually. Feel like that's top tier content. We need that.
You would fall over, I feel like, quite hard.
I'd let him get 3. Let him get 3 in, and I do my best. I wouldn't get crutches after, like that guy that took the kick from John Jones. I ain't no bitch. Mama ain't raise a pussy. That's what ice is made for.
Well, from that on point, you have Smudger versus Wicked HS. Hit Squad making its return.
I haven't heard Wicked in a minute. Wicked versus who?
Smudger.
Oh!
I'll put that down then, Smudger.
I was just gonna make a claim how Wicked's a dog and like former TST for 3 days and talented individual, but
is there any point?
It don't matter. It don't matter. Smudger's gonna kill him. Smudger's back for a reason. Because after that loss to Vuck, Smudger DM'd me and was like, "I'm fucking done until a patch comes out." He clearly likes this patch.
Yeah, no.
That's why he's back. He clearly likes this patch. That's why he's back.
Well, from that fight, you've got Versatile versus Hoo.
On paper, Verse should win this fight.
Yes, but under any other stressful situations, he's ridiculously like Vanio versus him.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Got killed in round 1.
He chokes. And who's
and he's admitted this to me in my DMs. He's basically said, yeah, he just gets extreme nerves sometimes. And
he chokes. He chokes. And personally, I'm happy I can have this conversation about Verse right now because he has been purposely leaving the W out of my name for the last I don't know how many weeks. But who also has like 600 ping, known to have high ping.
Lucky's been typing as your name every time I get the unaired lists.
No.
Last time I had it was Swaggy Dr. Loser. So don't worry about it.
I will beat Lucky's ass.
That's a fight to make.
It's gotta be IRL. And but I lost my train of thought.
Who having 600 ping?
Oh yeah, who got high ping?
It shouldn't be that high. It's UK versus Egypt, so maybe
it shouldn't be that high in this one. It'll be closer, but I still think I don't know. Verse does choke, but this is one that he should easily win on paper. So, who's that dog though?
Okay, so then who we got? Pick guy, Versatile or who?
Why do I have to pick?
Because I'm writing down this so then we can work out the entire GP and how it's going to go.
It's going to be a draw.
It's good. I don't want to think about if we get a draw during a GP because then I don't know what to do. What would we do in a draw?
I don't know. That's what I was thinking. What would we do? Would they have to rematch?
Probably a rematch. Probably a rematch. What would you? Unless, well, I mean, if they got a draw,
yep,
it would be, a rematch. Unless you want to do a best of 3, when we're not doing a best of 3, so it would have to be a rematch.
That's actually hysterical. I hope there's not a draw because it would be blamed on me.
And you would have to note it down twice.
But Verse is gonna win that one. Damn, a draw on a GP would be so funny. That's something that's gotta get brought to attention.
Please don't get a draw.
Just in case that does happen.
I've never had to think about that before. I don't want to deal with that.
Just in case that happens. It's something that's gotta get brought to Cyrus, I know you're listening to this right now. You gotta think about this. I don't
want to think about it. I don't want to. Oh my god. Okay, so who's winning? Versatile or who neglected
I got
draw? Apparently.
I got Verse.
I'm actually kind of concerned.
First one's going to be a draw, and then when they rematch after the draw, Verse is going to win.
Oh, for fuck's sake. On from that, we have Vanio versus Curtis. Vanio versus... Curtis. Curtis is now part of WR as well. I got told by Versatile.
Who's Curtis?
Curtis DT.
That don't help me at all. You just added more. You just added more letters. Like how is just adding 2 letters to a name gonna tell me who that is?
I don't know. Maybe you know a Curtis, but not a Curtis. Maybe you know. Maybe you don't know a Curtis, but you know a Curtis DT. I don't know. I was trying. He was ranked 20th or so. So I may have just about made a live card, but this is like his first proper live card debut.
GG's kid. Vanio gonna knock him out in the first round.
He's going.
Or he's gonna submit him. Vanio just does what he does, bro.
He's a B3 member, but he's like better than Goat in that aspect.
Vanio might be the best B3 like fighter there is. 1 and 2, like Vanio is slowly becoming one of my favorite. No. Like he's like 10 times better than Goat.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. You're not wrong.
like he is like better on the ground than Goat. Like
yeah. No.
However,
Vanio
like
beat Smudger. Goat didn't.
Yes, Vanio is the GOAT and like slowly becoming like one of my favorite fighters in the league.
I mean,
he talks too.
Smudger,
Vanio talks shit too.
Are all brilliant fighters who I love watching.
And they all talk shit.
Yeah, they do actually.
What I love the most.
No, it's most interesting with Vuck, in fairness, because Vuck went from this evil entity heel who was just a cheat to being. He's
becoming a babyface. He's starting to be loved by the community.
It's nice to see.
It's like when yeah, bro. It's like when Stone Cold Steve Austin joined the reigns of Vince McMahon, and everybody hated him. And then like a year later, he was like, "What?" And like the fans loved him again. It was crazy. That's fun.
Well, then from the Vanio fight, you have Gangster versus MG.
So I've been fighting on ranked with the MG method, just jab straights, and it doesn't work for me. But it works for everybody else on ranked. Once again, skill issue. Are you just
throwing jab straights and not thinking about it?
I've given up on like my entire existence when it comes to UFC 5. I don't know what to do anymore, and I just like go out there and kick and stuff, and like it's just I'm over. But so I've been trying to copy MG because that's like the easiest fight style to copy, and like he was a primetime champion, and it's not working for me, and I can see why it's not working for him anymore. So I'm excited to see how he switches it up so I can copy it and use it in ranked.
Who's winning the fight? Gangster.
He's fighting Gangster, who was Tiny Z last week, but Gangster the week before that.
He was always Tiny Z, but he was wanting to change his name to Gangster.
Tiny Gangster.
Or he changed his name to Gangster, but then his PSM was still Tiny Z, but his alt was.
Well, I'm calling
calling
him Big Tiny Gangster. And listen, Big TG. He
yeah, we can go with that.
He's a dog. And like I'm excited to see this fight because, like I said, I copy MG style because it's easy to copy. And TG a dog. So we'll see what happens in this one.
For sure. So
Your mic went out. Make sure we're still good, right?
Yeah, we're still recording.
Everything's good? Okay.
Yeah, and we've still got audio. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, we have had weird issues like this before, so that's why we're just double checking. All right.
At least the episode's here.
At
least it's here. This has happened before where we were like, shit, we're not even recording. So
okay. So Vania, so who's winning, Gangster or MG?
Bro, I got MG.
Okay.
I got MG in that one. MG needs this one.
Okay then. And the last 4 fights in the lightweight division will be Naz versus K1 Mike. Poor old K1 Mike I think was a bit upset with me because of he saw the Naz fight and just went straight up, what the fuck? And it's like, literally nothing to do with matchmaking. It's pure season based, and you were the guy who was stuck with Naz. That's genuinely the way that goes there.
Yeah, bro. Like, if you think that's a bad matchup, like, you have to look at Savage versus fucking Vuck. Like, that's the worst matchup on this card. Like, that is a mismatch, brother. We also saw a couple of weeks ago that Naz is very beatable.
Look at the Frosty fight. Literally look at the Frosty fight.
Also, wait. I'm gonna give you the game plan to beating Naz. Naz, shout out Naz, but I'm rooting on his downfall. I'm gonna give you the game plan to beat Naz. 1, do not fucking touch gloves. You're stupid. Don't touch gloves. 2, he posts on every social media daily. The only game he plays is UFC 5. Go watch a couple clips. Go watch some videos. Get his style down, right? Because Naz has a very like Naz style. It's very Naz. It's really into his zone. If you know what he does, you know what he does. Like he does that all fight. You know, get in the mind of Naz too. Be like so get in the mind of Naz. Be like, all right, I'm Naz. Drink some tea, sit down, load up the game, get it in there. You can do this. You can do this. However, I got Naz going to the second
round. Okay, we got Naz. I mean, that's a fair enough assumption. I'll be interested to see how Mike comes out, but yeah, it definitely favours Naz during that fight. And finally, in the lightweight, we have John Africa versus Mud UFC.
I am happy to see this is Mud. Mud made it to the GP. Mud beat my ass. Mud beat my ass in unaired, and Mud made it to the GP, baby.
Yeah.
I made Mud a star. I made Mud a star.
Mud beat Spooky with McGregor. That's how we got into this.
Spooky's another one. That I made a star.
Up.
And Red Panty Night, baby. Red Panty Night, baby. And John Africa's really good. But so is Mud. But the thing is, like, Mud's striking has gotten so much better. It's come a long way.
Mm-hmm.
Do not use that against John Africa. Don't strike. You've been striking the last 4 weeks. John Africa is a very game plan guy. John Africa is going to see that. John Africa is going to watch that. John Africa is going to know what's coming.
Mm-hmm. No,
I'd wrestle the dog shit out of John Africa in this fight.
But then John Africa's got really good grappling.
He does have really good wrestling. But the last couple times we've seen Mud, he wanted to strike. He didn't want to engage in wrestling.
Also, Africa's got really good game plan. That's another thing to take into account here. So it's gonna be interesting.
He does have game plan, but if you can find out how to nip that game plan in the bud and make him have to switch it mid fight, you can beat John. I got John winning this fight, though.
Okay, you got John winning the fight. Golden. So, then we go into the bantamweight division. So that's going to be Vuck versus Robin.
Wait, we're assuming that my picks are right?
Yep, we're assuming your picks are right. We're going to see who's going to become the champ. We're doing it this way.
Vuck versus Robin.
Yep,
this is like... This is going to be Robin coming into his own right here. This is going to be a big fight for both of them.
Yeah.
This is going to be a strike. This is a 5-round fight, right?
Yes, Buck's champ.
Belt on the line, 5-round fight. This is going to go 4 rounds.
Okay.
In the 4th round, it's going to finish.
I think it's going to be Robin.
Samurai Robin's going to win.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. I think Robin versus Buck's a difficult matchup there. Oh, God. Next fight after this, Smudger versus Vestar.
Smudger.
Yeah, I don't want to be. I love her style. Like the amount of DMs I got.
Like at this point, if I'm right, Verse already fought twice. Verse already had that first fight that was a draw, and then he won the second one. So now he's coming and he has to fight Smudger. Yeah, Smudger's winning. Verse is tired. Verse is tired.
Mate, honestly though, I could fully see it happening. It's kind of ridiculous. From that point on, we got Vanyo versus MG.
Vanyo's gonna make it look so easy. It's not even.
I mean, Smudger's had difficulty with MG, but I think ever since that fight, MG's game plan's been known, and it's just kind of happened that way. This is a really interesting fight. Naz versus Sean Africa.
This is gonna be the second draw of the night.
Second draw.
And then
you're going to be that painful to me. Just people getting draws non-stop. I swear to God, if we go to a draw the very first fight, I am going to find you. I swear to God.
And then the second fight, John's going to win.
Okay, so you got John beating Naz, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. And then Robin versus Smudger. Yeah.
Now we're getting to the good fights, man.
Now we are getting to the good fights.
This is a really tough one because this is like.
Should we just flip a coin at this point?
Oh,
because there's no real way to tell unless you've seen how they've been fighting for the rest of the night.
Has Robin fought Smudger like?
No.
Not in a long.
No,
never.
I don't think so. Not in a good while. Not since Smudger's had a slight drop off either.
Bro, I don't know. I would see like it depends because they would both be on 2s right now, so they would both be on cloud 9. Like, I feel like Smudger coming in with more intensity would serve a good purpose, but like,
well, this is also 5 rounds.
Robin, and Robin, I don't know.
Smudger's got more experience in 5 rounds. He can go deeper. And also Smudger has fought a similar type of kicking style against Vanyo and still won the fight. You can remember their first matchup of Smudger versus Vanyo. You had Vanyo constantly calf kicking and playing that game. That's kind of a similar game to how Robin plays it.
This
and
one's
Smudger
really
still won, nearly.
This one's like a really hard pick. I'm gonna go Robin though.
This will be a middleweight as well, which makes it even.
I'm gonna go with my gut.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with my gut. I'm gonna go Robin.
I mean, when you include middleweight into it, yeah, I can agree with that. Vanyo versus John Africa.
Vanyo.
Okay. And so the last fight would be at welterweight. Would be Vanyo versus Robin. Robin. You think Robin's gonna win?
I think Robin can win the whole thing.
Oh.
I think Robin, Smudger, Vanyo, Vuck, Naz, John are all capable of winning the whole thing.
Well, I made note of it all, so we can compare it next week. We'll see how it goes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we do get to see Robin versus Smudger, I'll be hyped because that's a really good fight.
Yeah, no, that's a really good fucking fight right there. I would like to see that too. I'd be intrigued.
No, that's a fight that I if we do get, I'll be extremely happy with.
That would be a good
so we have broken down the Xbox GP. We've broken down the PSGP. We have got a scum bucket who's apparently fat for some reason.
Making me look stupid.
Making you look stupid. That's ridiculous.
Swag bags, Driz. Thanks for killing all of our dreams. I can only imagine how many channel points people lost.
Jesus. Well, so Swagbag, Dream, Driz. And all that being said, I think we're done. We're hitting about the 40-minute mark or so. A couple of technical issues throughout the course. But I guess that's been it. So,
yeah. I feel like
we're missing something, but I don't know what it is.
I feel like we are missing something.
Fantasy League?
Aren't we? Wasn't that last week?
That was last week. We did bring it up last week. I know there's been a couple adjustments to it. I'm still on 0 points.
Talk about the adjustments.
So, well, these aren't fully announced just yet because I believe we're planning to announce them after.
Then don't talk about the adjustments.
Yeah, I feel like the rankings are going to get adjusted afterwards. They are being slowly worked on. Yeah, we'll talk about that more probably after the GPs. That'll probably be a big segment there. If you didn't know, if you missed last week's episode, we're running a fantasy league. You pick your fighters, you get points based on wins and stuff. The average point so far does seem to be 36.5, weirdly enough. Mainly due to the fight of the night's giving half a point. So you do see those 0.5s. Outside of that, though, I do think we are done. If you like what you've heard tonight from us, go catch Swaggy on Twitch and on YouTube. This man runs his own podcast in which it's insane from the
Swagcast.
The Swagcast, yes, indeed.
Yeah, we just brand new episode came out today actually with JMMA. Who y'all all know and love or hate, but he cool. So come check it out. I also, shameless plug, I also have another thing to plug. I apologize, Doc. I'm starting a E-Fed on WWE 2K24. All you have to do is create a wrestler, use hashtag Swaggy, and you will be involved in the E-Fed. That's all going down in the Discord and on the Twitter.
Yes. Good. So then, if you'd like what you heard about the PSGP, that's going to be live this Saturday, 4:30 Eastern, 8:30 GMT. Time zones are still not back to normal, so America's still only 4 hours, not 5 behind. That's why it's at R4. Yada yada yada. Yeah. Links and stuff will be in the description for swag. But will that be
always blaming the Americans is crazy.
We changed time zones. You just go back earlier. It's weird. Anyhow.
Yeah, We're the ones losing an hour of sleep, Doc.
We also lose an hour of sleep. We just do it later on.
I don't know why we're complaining then.
I don't know why we're complaining. Anyhow. That has been us from the PT Mortem crew. Catch us this Saturday at PrimeTime on Twitch. And all that being said, adios.